All right, folks, this is John Crutchfield. And if you're jumping on this, then you want to talk about how to find your next deal. You want to talk about prospecting and where to find the deals. Okay. You want to talk about where to find the deals. One of the questions that I get all the time is like, who should I contact? And where do I find them? Okay. And we're going to kind of like use a fishing analogy today because I'm a fisherman. I like to fish. Don't always catch fish, but I like to fish. And the analogy is that, like, if you're fishing, first things first, okay, you got to make sure that you're fishing in the right pond. So we're going to spend some time on this today, but we're also going to make sure that you have some practical step-by-steps like how to build your list. Okay. So let me hit this button. If it's working right, y'all should see my whole screen. Boom. Okay. And let's just jump right into it. So today's objective, you're going to understand the 4 key prospecting categories. You're going to know where to find your leads. You're going to be able to learn what makes a contact qualified, and you're going to get real world scripts to start conversations. Okay. All right. So some of you all have heard me say this till you're blue in the face, but I'm going to say it again. Okay. Pillar number 1 is that you are looking for distressed property owners. Okay. People are not going to sell you something at a discount unless there is some type of distress. Quiz for the people in the room. What are the 2 types of distress? The 2 types of distress that could be happening.
Property problem and person problem, owner problem.
Property problem and an owner problem. There's going to be one or other of those situations. So right before this call, I just got off the phone with a realtor who's trying to sell a deal off market, and the owner and his son live in the house, but they need a little cash and they want to move out. Okay. So which one is that? Which problem is that? They want a little cash and they want to move out of this house. I think the mom died a few years ago, so they don't want to stay in it anymore.
Owner problem.
The owner problem. The property is gorgeous. She just sent me pictures. It doesn't need a whole lot of work. It's all cosmetic, maybe some updates to the countertops, painting, all of that. But they have an owner problem, right? So pillar number 1, if you're not looking for an owner problem, okay, if your list does not include owner problems, then you're probably just wasting your time. Okay. So you're looking for things like pre-foreclosures, code violations, kids that inherited the house, right? That means the parent died. I hate y'all. I hate this about myself. But I got a text this morning about somebody at my old church that passed away, and I hate to say this, but like somebody's gonna have to buy her house. Like somebody's gonna have to buy her house, and her kids live in Nashville, Tennessee. She lives in Tupelo, Mississippi. Like, who's gonna buy her house? Now, am I telling you to call people right after they pass away to try to get their house? That's probably not gonna work. You're probably gonna get cursed out. Okay, it's insensitive. Okay. But I'm telling you that if you look at these people's problems like an opportunity, you can start to position yourself in a way where you can find your next deal. Okay. So pre-foreclosures, code violations, inherited homes, or absentee owners. Okay. Absentee owners. Some of you all might remember I have owned property in Iowa. I've owned property in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. Okay. Mississippi is kind of like second home for me right now. So I still own a lot of stuff there and I have a team there. But I no longer own properties in Iowa. Y'all remember why? I don't like the cold. Okay. Who else is that on the iPhone there? That's somebody new. I haven't seen that person. Hey, Solace. Um, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is absentee owners often realize that they don't want to own properties out of state. Oh, okay. I see who that is. Welcome to the Monday call. All right, very good to have you. Mr. Morris, is that Mr. Morris? Good to see you, sir.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hey, yeah, we're talking about building your list and finding your next deal. So good to see you. All right. Anyways, look for problems that people would actually think about selling their property at a discount, right? And if somebody's an absentee owner, think about what that means. They live somewhere else and they are actually responsible for an asset, right? So maybe they got to have the grass cut, or maybe they have to have the property repaired for some reason. And every time they have to have it repaired, they got to figure that out. Some people are really good about figuring that out, and they can, like Morris here. Morris wants to buy some properties in Indianapolis, or potentially in Indianapolis, right? So he's okay with having family there handle his property. Twana, you are absentee owner. You have property in Tulsa, right? So you have a handyman that you feel confident about. You have a lender there that you feel confident about. But one day you're going to be motivated to sell those properties if you stay in DFW, because you're going to be like, hey, like, that's a lot. That's too much for me to manage. I don't want to manage it anymore. So you're looking for owners like that. You all have heard of some of these systems, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these systems. I'm going to show y'all one of the systems that I use. But you got PropStream. You can find these people. You've got batch leads. You've got county records. Like, you can actually go to the county records and look for these types of situations. In Texas, every single pre-foreclosure is posted. Like, they have to get a notice. So you can go and look at the county records and see if somebody got a pre-foreclosure notice, and you can contact those owners. Okay. You are looking for people that are motivated to sell below market value, or some type of creative terms, like some type of way that you can structure a deal where you can make some money. Okay, that's what you're looking for. All right, pillar number 2, you're looking for somebody tired. Okay, tired landlord. Tired landlords are things like they got eviction with the property. Hey, do y'all know you could actually just go sit in eviction court and wait on the landlords to come in there and just get their phone numbers and talk to them? That works. Eviction court every month. You can go in there and just sit in there and contact the owners right there in person, and just say, hey, do you mind if I call you later and talk to you about some of your properties? I don't think I'm gonna be wrong in saying this. I think I've said this before. Anybody that owns more than 5 properties has at some point been a tired landlord. Okay. Twana, have you been a tired landlord at some point? She raised her hand. Okay. You know why? Because people who don't own properties have no idea what it's actually like to own properties. Okay. So they own them, and then they realize, oh shoot, it's the 4th of July and I have an AC go out and I have to go fix it because somebody's paying me rent, right? Or I have to get it fixed. Now, we think that real estate is worth it, right? We think it's worth owning it, but at some point somebody might be tired. Okay. So look for landlords with eviction history, long ownership, out of state owners, kind of similar. And you can look at eviction. I've already mentioned you can go to eviction court. You can look at eviction dockets. Some places it's public record. You can go on Facebook, look in groups for this kind of thing. And if I'm on Facebook and I'm posting in a group, I'm looking for my next property. Are there any landlords here who live out of state? Okay. Instead of me posting, I'm looking for a good deal. Will you sell me your property for 30% on the dollar? Like, maybe instead of doing that, look for property owners that live out of state. Just say, does anybody in here own a property and they live out of state? That's going to get you a lot more answers. And then you contact those people directly and say, hey, would you consider selling me a property? Do you have a property causing you a headache? Right? If you have a property causing you a headache, then this might be something that I can help you with. I can help you with your headache. Investors get paid because we help people solve their headaches. That's why we get paid. Okay. All right. Tax records. Property taxes. This is a good one. Okay. You can look for landlords with property tax records. I think that might be on another one of my points. But tax records will tell you who owns the property. So I get that question a lot. Like, if you're driving by a property, look at the tax records. That'll tell you who the owner is. In most cases, some places it's really slow to update. but in some counties they update it really quickly. Okay. Think about why this is a good place to look for a deal. The person is burned out or they're looking to offload. Okay. I love finding people who own multiple properties that are selling. Okay, Twana, you had that happen this weekend, right? You have those people that you're working with, they're kind of fixing them up and then they're selling them when the tenants leave, but now they're tired.
Right.
That's a tired landlord and they have multiple properties that they're trying to get out of. That's pretty cool, right? Because sometimes you don't need a bunch of different sellers. Sometimes you can have one seller sell you properties over and over again. Okay, that's pretty good. Or sell them to you as a group. Okay, anybody got a question so far? Y'all good? All right, number 3, okay? Agents and wholesalers. Okay, notice that this is number 3 on my list and not number 1. But there are some investor-friendly agents. There are some wholesalers that they have a list of leads that never closed, right? Or they tried to sell it, but it didn't sell. And you can work with them to find your deals. I love going to real estate meetups. We host one, right, in Mansfield, Texas, every 3rd Thursday. Okay. So I love going to meetings and looking for people that may own a property that they're trying to get rid of. They may have a distressed property that they would sell at a discount. Okay. You can also find buyers at these meetings. So keep that in mind. Anywhere that you can find sellers, you could also potentially find a buyer, right? And if you find somebody looking to buy, that's the cheat code for wholesaling, right? If you know somebody that's looking to buy, then you can go buy what they want. It's a cheat code. It's kind of what I do in my coaching program, right? I find people that are looking to buy. If you join this program, you are an example of this. I found somebody who is ready to buy, and then I automatically know, and if I find a deal, hey, let me send it to this person, right? It's an automatic strategy that works, okay? You can also look on LinkedIn. You can look at Facebook for agents and wholesalers. This is prime time place to look for people, okay? Why do you reach out to agents? Are you reaching out to agents to pay retail price for properties? Is that what you're doing? Abby, this is a good question for you. Are you reaching out to agents so that you can pay what they're asking?
No, I'm reaching out to agents to see what if they have anybody that's like not on the market, and then what kind of what's wrong with the house, or what is the problem? Why are they wanting to sell? That kind of thing.
100%. So Abby has done this since I've known her. She's willing to reach out to agents that she knows. Okay. She's going to ask them, do you have anything off market? Do you have anything that's not listed that an investor might be willing to look at? Every single agent that's selling houses has a house that they have not listed for some reason. Maybe the seller just didn't want to put it on the market. Maybe there was something wrong with the house. They didn't think it would sell. Maybe their brokerage doesn't put up ugly properties to sell. Some brokerages do not allow you to put up ugly houses, right? And so contact these realtors, talk to them, see if there's an opportunity there. Okay. So off-market listings are fantastic, and wholesalers and agents can have those too. All right, last one, number 4, look for people who have high equity. So this is people who have owned their property for a while, or they own it cash. They don't owe a lot on their property, okay? You're looking for people that have potentially also are business owners, okay? Because they've paid their property off. ListSource is a good place for this, but also a lot of the tools that I've already mentioned, PropStream, Batch Leads, they will show you an estimated amount of equity in the property. Okay. You can look and see like how long they've owned it and kind of give you an idea. You can't always see that. Y'all know I use Propelio. Propelio will often give me an idea of what their mortgage was when they bought the property. I'll show y'all that in a minute. but you absolutely, absolutely want to try to find people that have owned their property a while. Hey, I'm going to give y'all a stat that I didn't know until a couple months ago. Do y'all know in the United States that 40% of people own their house free and clear with no loan? That means 4 out of every 10 people do not have a mortgage. It could be a mobile home, it could be land, it could be a single family house, it could be apartments. That means 4 out of 10 people at least have high equity in their house. So that means if you're on a street and you're looking at a street and it's 10 houses on that street, 4 people don't owe a mortgage on it, which means they could sell that house for whatever they want. Right? If they have a need, if they have some distress, they can sell that house for whatever they want. So there are absolutely opportunities to buy things with high equity in the United States. 40% of the homes are paid off. Okay? That's not even including the homes that only have a low balance left. Okay? Keep in mind that people with high equity are often open to creative financing. So usually they do not need all of the money. These could be your seller financing deals. These could be your low down payment, creative financing people. But this is another reason why you look for high equity sellers. Okay. All right. So how do you know who's qualified? Okay. And man, if you're in our coaching program, like this is why you hired me. Don't waste time on unqualified leads. Okay. Let me give you an example of an unqualified lead. A family just bought their house. They just got married in 2025 in February. And then they got together and they realized they don't like each other no more. They used a 0% down loan to buy the house, and they bought the house on the market in the best neighborhood in Texas. Okay. Why is that lead a waste of time? And if you're watching this later as a part of the program, sorry you can't answer, but make sure you get in the room. Okay. Why is that lead why is that lead not going to work?
No equity.
Why don't they have any equity, Morris?
Well, because they've only been in it a short time.
They just bought it 3 months ago. They use a 0% down loan. They're not going to be able to sell it at a discount. Okay. Now, if they call me, am I going to talk to them? Sure. But those are going to be quick calls, right? And I'm also always going to ask them, hey, is there somebody else? Is there somebody else that you know is looking to sell something? Right? Because but their deal is a waste of time. Why spend all day on the MLS, looking at it on Zillow, looking at it everywhere, and that lead is not ever going to convert because they don't have any equity to help you. Now, sometimes those people are so mad at each other, they might just say, hey, take over my mortgage. And they might have a 4% mortgage or a 3% mortgage, right? Morris would be all over those, right? Because Morris is open to subject to deals, right? And we absolutely look at deals where we don't have to put anything down and we could possibly take over a mortgage, right? We absolutely look at those, okay? But how to know who's qualified? Start with people who have equity. Start with people who have owned their property for some length of time. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years. Okay. Look for property distress, things like violations, evictions, tax liens. And look for motivation. Something is happening in their life that's causing them to want some type of change. Okay. Life change. They got a financial need. Y'all, I just sold a property. I'll give y'all a real example because y'all know I be telling y'all the truth. I just sold a property maybe March. Property's worth $140,000. I sold it for $90,000. Okay. This is me, like me personally. Well, why did I sell it? Well, I had a business close. Some of y'all know I had a business close. I had a construction business where my main employee left me. Right. And so we had to settle all the debts for the business. We had the loans that we had on the business. We had payroll. We had outstanding jobs that had to be paid, and they need to be paid quick. So we sold that property because I didn't owe anything on it. I didn't have a lien on it at all. And it was the quickest thing for me to get 90K. Okay. So you absolutely can find motivation in people based on timing. This is why I tell y'all to follow up with leads. I might not be motivated today, but next week I might be motivated. Okay. Life changes all the time. Hope, is this helping? Is this helping? Anybody in the room? Helping a little bit? Okay, I see one person shaking their head because I only got one person on video. I got one person in person. All right. Let's see. All right, sample things of what to say. Oh, this is so good. Okay. How many people get how you say this? How many people get calls from spammers, or what do you call them? Telemarketers. How many people get telemarketing calls? Man, I wish I could see y'all on the screen. I see Twana. You get calls, telemarketers. Okay. How many people like to get calls from telemarketers? He's like, nobody. Hey, imagine that you owned 300 properties and all of them were trying to call you and see if you wanted to sell your property. Do y'all think I like telemarketers? I hate it. I pretty much keep my phone on do not disturb most of the day. You see me, mark do not disturb on my phone. Okay, so I can look at my messages later because I don't like the phone calls. Now, I'm saying that to say, if you are going to cold call or call people, you need to think, what makes me different than a cold caller that's spamming me? Could you do something different than everybody else is doing? If you do what everybody else is doing, you will be considered a telemarketer, just like all the other telemarketers. So think about your script that way. I've got a script right here, right? That says, hey, I saw you own this property. Would you consider selling if the price made sense? Okay, sure, this works, right? Or, hi, I'm buying in Texas, open to a cash offer on your property? Sure, right? That works. Another one, do you have any off-market or distressed listings you need a buyer for? These all work, okay? And if you start by making the calls, you're ahead of everybody else. But what if you considered like the stuff that annoys you, like not doing it when you call people? You ever get those people that say, hi, I'm John Crutchfield. How are you today? I hate that. I don't know who you are. Why would I want to talk to you? Like, especially if I'm busy, the first thing I want to know is, why are you calling me? So the quickest way, okay, to get their attention is to give them quickly why you're calling. Okay. Hey, I'm John Crutchfield. I'm interested in buying your house. Would you be interested in selling? Or, hey, I'm John Crutchfield. I noticed that you might have been interested in selling your house in the past. Is this a good time to talk? Okay. These are strategies that work because you're telling them why you're calling, and you're also asking for their permission to talk to them. Y'all know I like to ask for their permission. Okay. Because it changes the dynamic a little bit. It's like, I really don't have to talk to you right now if you don't want to talk to me. Okay. Anybody have tried something that works especially well when you're calling? Anybody tried something that they found that works really well? Might help other people in the room. Couple other tips: call twice if they don't answer the first time. That helps. I get a lot of pickups the second call if they don't answer the first time. What do you do after you call 2 times and they don't answer? Leave a voicemail. Okay. What do you do if they don't answer the voicemail? Send a text message. Text message, you're going to get like 50% more people to respond if you text them. Okay. I respond to text messages way more often than I respond to a phone call. So if you're not texting right now in your real estate business as a strategy to contact sellers, you should add that. Okay. Some of these tools that you all are using will text your customers for you. They will text for you. Right? Whether it's PropStream, Batch Leads, Mojo Dialer, all of these things text, you can use any of this stuff. Notice that I don't really go into technical, like how to use these tools, because they all work, right? They all work. There's not any really, a lot of them are really pulling from the same place, which is list source. A lot of them are pulling from the same data source and they're just selling you the program. It looks different. It has a different name on the program, but they're all getting the data from the same place. So I don't care which one you use. I use Propelio. That's what I use today. Okay. But that doesn't mean that any of the other ones don't work. Abby's using, what's she using? The one you can drive for dollars. Deal Machine. What we like about Deal Machine has it all in one place. You don't really have to go to all these different softwares, right? So Deal Machine will mail them a letter. It'll text them. You can call them from there. Like you can use it as a whole CRM, right? So don't fall in love with the system. Fall in love with the process of actually contacting these people. Okay. If y'all have any questions, interrupt me. Okay. So right now, I am in DFW in the Dallas area. My particular strategy that I like using the most today is social media. That's my own particular strategy. You know why? Social media is free. It's absolutely free for me to post every day, 3 times a day on social media. Anybody in here seen me post on social media 3 times a day? Anybody seen my stuff? Only one person can show their hand. Okay, if you're not seeing me on social media posting 3 times a day, I don't know what's going on. Because if you're attached to me anywhere on social media, you're probably seeing that. Why do I do that? Because when I tell people, I even post about my weight loss on social media. Has anybody seen my weight loss video on social media? If you're watching this later and you haven't, watch one of those videos and notice what I say at the end. Anybody notice what I say at the end? I'm a real estate investor. I buy houses. Reach out to me if you're interested in getting started in real estate. Even when I'm posting about weight loss, right? So the reason that I do that is because people see that. And now when their parent dies or their brother gets sick and needs to move in with them, they have somebody to think about. And I get those DMs all the time from people that are just like, hey, what do you think about this deal? Or what do you think about this? That's leads. And it's free leads. It's like free marketing. Okay. My second favorite strategy right now is probably pay per lead. And this is kind of a strategy that you use once you have a little money and you're okay with investing in deal flow. Okay. But I like to pay for leads. People go on the website, they put in, I'm looking to sell my house. It's not cheap, y'all. You're going to spend between $100 and $300 a lead, okay, to get that. But I like, when I call people, I like for them to actually answer the phone. Okay. I don't like the cold calling just all day. But when you're getting started and you don't necessarily want to spend that money or have that money to spend, or you're just trying to work out your system, it's totally okay to cold call. Just know that it's going to take more time. Okay. And that's totally cool. My third favorite strategy right now is going to be cold calling, right? And I personally use a VA to cold call right now. I use a couple of VAs. So I use VAs to call these lists, the same list you all are pulling. That's why when y'all ask me, where to get my list? Where do I get my list? How about from all of them? It is more important that you're making the calls than it is that you get the list from a certain place. Now, some lists are more motivated than others. This is absolutely true. Okay, some lists are more motivated than others. So, for example, if you pull a list of recent pre-foreclosures, that's going to be a better list than you pull in a list of foreclosures from last year, right? But for the most part, if you stick to the criteria that I've given you earlier, you look for absentee people, you look for high equity people, you're going to get a great list of people to contact. Okay. Just because we have people in the room, what is your strategy and where are you looking for a deal? Unmute. What is your strategy and where are you looking for a deal?
I do a lot of driving and I call a lot of real estate agents. And I've been networking a lot at church because I have a lot of church family that you know, when I've just flat out tell them, hey, I'm looking for an investment property, and I've gotten gotten several leads. They haven't really called me back, but yeah, I get several leads through just like my warm market, my warm friends and family, that I'm just telling them, hey, this is what we're looking to do.
Yeah, 100%. Like using your network works. This works 100%. The only thing I'll add to that, Abby, is you got to stay top of their mind, right? So even if you tell them one time, like think about ways that you can tell them over and over again.
100%.
Okay. So, for example, like with me, I have an email list, right? So every single day we're emailing our email list about something, mainly about the coaching program right now. That's kind of my focus. But we're emailing our coaching list. So they're seeing grab the map in their email frequently, or they're seeing a text from grab the map frequently. And that is going to keep me top of mind. What am I trying? I'm just trying to capture their attention. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret right now, and this is like something you would get from a multi-millionaire. This is real life. Right now, business is being won by people who get attention. Okay? The more attention you can get, the more money you can make. And I hate to say it, but right now it's not just good attention, it's also bad attention. Attention gets you business. Okay? Y'all think Donald Trump cares that 50% of the country doesn't like him? Do y'all think that what was the other one named? Barack Obama, Kamala Harris? Do y'all think that she cares? The other 50% of the people know their names. Right? People know their names, and that means opportunities are going to come their way. Right? Good or bad, attention is okay. Like obviously most of us want positive attention. Okay. So how are you getting attention? Abby is getting attention by telling people about her. Who's next? What city are you looking in, and what's your strategy? Don't forget you got to unmute. Tawana, share your stuff.
Yes, mine is Texas and Oklahoma. So I like driving for dollars as well.
Driving for dollars. So many people don't like doing it anymore. It's like a cheat code. So I love it. Isaac, where are you at? Where are you looking for a deal, and what's your strategy? Don't forget you got to come off mute. And I know you were at work, so if you're at work, just shoot me a chat. I'll leave you alone. Jaquan, you want to share? Mr. Morris, I know you're getting started, but if you want to share.
Hey, I'm here, Johnoson.
Oh, go for it.
I usually look for deals on using PropStream, driving for dollars. I do some marketing stuff on social media, and then I currently am working with a real estate agent who flips houses too, trying to kind of cipher some deals and stuff through the market. And my strategy is for as far as PropStream, I usually like absentee owners out of state, high equity, own about 3 or more properties, single family homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet type deal.
100%. You got criteria. Anybody else want to share before we move on? Okay. I'm going to challenge you. If you didn't share, I'm assuming you're working. Okay. But keep in mind, I'm not just having you share so you can tell me. Okay. I'm giving you a chance to get attention right now. Okay. Not only do we do this live, but we also post these online on social media. Right. So imagine that somebody has a deal and they hear you say, I'm looking for a property in this area. Right. I'm giving you an opportunity here to get attention. Anytime somebody gives you opportunity to get attention, you should tell people what you're looking for. Okay. Who else has a strategy? Anybody else?
I'm looking for properties in west of the Metroplex, Abilene or Fort Worth area.
Okay, perfect.
So,
and you're looking for rentals potentially.
yes. Yeah.
Right. Good deal. I love it. All right, I'm gonna move on just because we gotta move. All right. So recap, takeaways, find people with pain, equity, or urgency. Use tools to speed up your list building. Okay. Don't overthink the script. Don't overthink the script. Sound familiar? She's smiling. Don't overthink it. Okay. Do you need to do a whole lot of research before you get them on the phone? No, not really. A quick Zillow search is fine because you're looking for motivation, right? Once you know you have motivation, time to do some due diligence, time to search a little bit harder, time to do some research. It is totally okay to tell your seller, hey, I'm going to do a little bit more research now, and I'm going to call you back in an hour. I'm going to call you back in 30 minutes. Totally okay. Consistency of the contact is what you're looking for. Okay. We didn't mention today that a lot of times you can find these people, okay, by marketing. And we've gone over different marketing strategies you can use. Facebook Marketplace, putting signs in the yard, radio, television, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's all kind of ways that you can get that out there. But I'm hoping today that this helps you start to build your list of prospects. Okay, you should go into every single day, every single week with prospects. Like, who am I going to contact? Where am I going to call? Okay, every single day that I come into my office, I already have leads to contact, whether they came from social media or Facebook ads or my VA. Like, my VA constantly is sending leads, right? So you should have leads to contact, and you set up that system. I'm not telling you all how to set up your system. Okay, you have to do that work. You have to decide, how am I going to generate leads for my business? Okay. But today, you know what to look for. Okay, you know what to look for. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to give y'all an example and show y'all an example of how this looks in my system. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to use like Google Chrome for this. I won't go into a huge deal, but I'm going to show you an example of how this looks, because I know several of us are using different things. All right, so sharing my screen, you should see it now. And for the purposes of my list, we're going to use Propelio. Okay, y'all see my screen? So I go to propelio.com. Okay, I log in. And a lot of these systems are built for this, y'all. They already know what we're looking for. We're investors. On the left-hand side here, there's a button called List Builder. Imagine that, right? So I'm going to click on List Builder, okay? It will let you put in your county. You know, if I'm looking in Tarrant County, Texas, all of your systems have this same functionality. So don't get caught up on the name of the software. Get caught up on what we're looking for, okay? Up here where it says property type, you get to choose what property type you're looking for. So it could be single family, could be multifamily, it could be a duplex, whatever you're looking for. Okay. By the way, if you do end up deciding you want to use Propelio, y'all reach out to me because I probably got an affiliate link. Okay, I should say that. But I'm not trying to get you to switch software. I'm just telling you that this is what I use. Okay. You notice that you can choose your beds and baths. I don't fill in all of this because sometimes this data is wrong. Has anybody ever experienced that where the data's wrong? Like sometimes the tax records will say that it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, but it's actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bath or 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Anybody experience that? I don't sort by that. I can't see y'all, so I don't know if y'all raising your hand or what. But I don't sort by that. I leave all of that blank. Okay. But what I do look for is this next tab, which is the owner tab. Things like length of ownership. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar?
Yes, equity.
Okay. That's the equity that we just talked about. In-state landlords or absentee owners. Do y'all see out-of-country landlords? Do y'all think that would be motivated? Hey, y'all, look at this. In the bottom right corner of this screen, do y'all see how many properties there are just in Tarrant County? Do y'all see that? I just got Tarrant County multifamily, single family duplexes. 668,000. That's insane. Okay, look at what happens if I choose out of country landlords. There's 2. There's 2. Okay, that can't be right, but there's 2. Okay, when I click that. So you got seniors, you've got properties that are in trust, you've got personal residences, or all kinds of stuff. Okay, it's pretty cool. You got bank owned. All of your softwares have this functionality to kind of filter it. Now, don't think that every single software is going to get it exactly right. This is just giving you a place to get started. Okay. I also like this stress indicator tab. Okay, because you could choose if it's vacant or not. Do y'all think somebody with a vacant property is more likely to sell it at a discount than somebody with the property being occupied? Probably so. Okay, so you can use all of these different tabs to kind of filter your list. Maybe you want to use certain property values, certain tax values. Maybe you want to find people with high equity or that own their property free and clear. Can y'all come off your mic? Are you all seeing these options in the other softwares you're using as well? I just want to make sure that y'all are understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Some of-
PropStream has those options.
Yeah, so you can use whatever you want. You do not have to use one particular tool, okay? I'm gonna say it again. You do not have to use one particular tool. So don't spend all your time switching to something I use, because it's very likely that I have used every single software out there. I have realized that it's not about the software. It's about the consistency of contacting the people. Okay, you can contact people using any of these lists. What list do you use? Solace, you on here? Solace asks me that all the time. What do I say, Solace? Call the people. Call the people. Have your VA call the people. Text the people. Right? Like the
Right.
list, not necessarily. I've said that to you before, because 9 times out of 10, when somebody asks me what list to use, if I ask them, how many sellers have you talked to in the last 7 days? The answer is very low. So it doesn't matter what list you're using if you're not contacting at least, I ain't gonna say the number, but at least a certain number of sellers every day. You could just go on Facebook. You don't even have to use a list, right? Start with that and then refine your system. Okay. I told y'all what my favorite lead source was. Okay, hopefully this helps somebody. So from this, I'm going to actually turn this off. If you're watching this training in one of our courses, hey, if you're in one of our rooms, I'm glad you're in our room. If you're interested in more coaching or you need something else, if you need some help, y'all know, just DM me, shoot me a DM, or message me, or post your question so we can help you.